Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Welcome in, my healthy, wealthy family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Thursday night live chat. It's all about entrepreneurship, wisdom, just the good information and knowledge that we need to help us to thrive and to live our best life possible. Now, if you didn't take a moment to like this, to share it out, because somebody in your life may need this information we're about to share. Tonight's topic is all about how to build your credit, the best ways to improve your credit. And I couldn't think of a better person on this platform to invite to share this stage with as we educate you on how to repair your credit. But make sure you get your notepads because he doesn't drop nuggets, he drops boulders. Yes. That's how solid this brother is. I am so happy to introduce our brother. We all know him on the YouTube streets as Points Blank. But if you're more than that to him, you'll know him as Rob. Rob the credit guy, Rob the traveler, Rob the guy that loves to just love and give and share. Welcome, welcome in, my brother. How we doing? Oh my God, wait a minute, you're muted. Here we go.
How you doing? Thank you for having me on the show. It's good to be here.
Wait a minute, I am not hearing you. Give me one moment. Let me turn my stuff up. Let me make sure I got some volume on this. Say something good to me. What you got, Rob? Hit me back, hit me back.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Hey,
Okay, well, let me
Rob
repeat.
is in the house. Woot, woot.
Thank you
Welcome
so
in.
much, Charlene. Blessings to you. Thank you for having me on your platform to share with anyone that's willing to listen. Whatever I can do to help people come up, that's what I'm all about on Points Blank Travel, just helping people get their credit in the right place and be able to travel for a little or no money out of their pocket and see the world, see the country, see the world, see wherever they want to go for a little or no money out of their pocket. So,
Exactly. I mean, I love that. What's not to love about that? But that's going to be another episode. That's a sneak peek for next week. So, guys, he's giving us a double feature tonight. It's all about credit. And next week, we're going to be talking about the best credit cards for you. Some people might be looking for rewards credit cards. And some of us, if you're in this chat, you're probably looking to build your credit. So, we're going to talk about the best credit cards to build your credit as well. So, we got you. We got you. We got you. Rob, I'm just going to give you a moment of spotlight so you can just tell everyone who you are. Tell us about all your channels so everyone can come and subscribe to you. All this information is in the description box. And I also have his channel in a pin link. So make sure you go over and subscribe. You're going to learn so much. Rob, go right ahead. This is your spotlight, brother.
all right. Thank you, Charlene. Well, for those that have never seen me, my name is Rod. I am the founder and CEO of the Points Blank Network, which includes my flagship channel, Points Blank Travel, which is a channel where I talk about credit, how to increase your credit score, how to maintain your credit score. A lot of people think the challenge is getting a good credit score, but it's actually harder to maintain it than to actually get it. Um, on my channel, I try to clear a bunch of the myths that are out there about credit and credit cards. I also talk about, I don't teach people how to go get a million credit cards, but I do talk about how I use credit cards and leverage my travel. I'm pretty sure my last 5 trips, two to New York, two to San Diego, two to New York. I guess it's 6 trips. One to Miami, one to San Francisco. I paid nothing, flights, nor hotels, and I flew first class. So all on the credit card points and miles. So my second channel is Points Blank Finance. If you're looking for the channel, it's points with an S because I'm talking about points and miles. On Points Blank Finance, we talk about how to invest on a budget. You know, a lot of people, including myself, always was led to believe that you have to have thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars or to buy stocks or gold or silver or mutual funds or crypto. And that's not the case. So I rarely do live streams on that channel. I think I've done maybe 5, 10, maybe. But I will not invest no more than 20, 25 bucks. Sometimes I may invest 10 bucks just to continuously show people that it's possible to be able to invest on a budget. My third channel, the Points Blank Experience, is I do interviews. I interview non-YouTubers, YouTubers, couples, singles, really just trying to get exposure to what I think are some great people and other people may have never heard of them. I also have a segment on there, Real Talk with Rod, where I talk about current events, current topics. And then my fourth channel is actually, I'm about to rebrand it to the original name, which is Points Blank Clips, but right now it's Points Blank Gumbo, and it's just small 2 to 5 minute clips of some of my longer live streams where people may have not, maybe they didn't catch all of the live, or it was a video that wasn't long enough for me to just do a full video, so I just cut out a clip of it. So there you have it. That's Rod in a nutshell.
Wow, guys, check this. I remember to take myself off mute before speaking this time. Woo! I'm on a roll tonight. I didn't mess it up. Listen, I told y'all I was gonna get it, Rob. That is amazing. You see, guys, every place you connect with him, you're bound to learn. And let me tell you, he doesn't just sit there and talk boring stuff about finances and credit, because this type of knowledge, it can get dry, believe me. But he keeps you entertained in his stream. He welcomes you. You feel the love and you have a good laugh. And it's a beautiful community over there. So I invite you to connect with all of his channels. So Rob, let's get into this credit talk. But before we get into it, let us define what is credit, because before we can talk about a topic, for me it's important to define. Let's say I'm new to this country and I'm hearing about this credit stuff. Like, what is credit? What does it mean?
Credit is basically your financial story in black and white. You know, a lot of people, it's on a credit report, but you have a credit score. But so anything that you do, whether you get a loan from a bank, a credit card, an auto loan, um, anything that's dealing with finances, say rent, is really not going to show up on your credit report unless you don't pay your rent and get an eviction. It's going to show up then. But if I was talking to a person that's new to your country, like let's say you go apply for an auto loan, your credit and credit report, there's two different things. You have a credit report and a credit score. A lot of people don't. I did a video. I forgot how many views this guy just called the credit hamburger, I believe it is. And I'll send it to Charlene to post to her community. I did it over a year ago. But when you talk about credit, when you go for apply for an auto loan or a mortgage loan, 9 times, or even a credit card, 9 times out of 10, you don't talk to anybody. Your credit is going to speak for you on paper or on the computer in black and white. And it's going to show your trustworthiness. I hate to use that word, but that's how the banks look at it. It's going to show your trustworthiness of, are you worthy enough to get this loan? Are you worthy enough to get this credit card with a $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10 limit? And the reason I say I don't like to use the word trustworthy, because I'm a firm believer of bad things happening to good people. Maybe you was laid off a little while and couldn't pay your car note for 1 month, or maybe you couldn't pay your credit cards for a month or two. It doesn't mean you're not trustworthy. You just didn't have the means to pay it. So I don't really like to use that. But credit in a nutshell is your financial picture in black and white, whether it's on a computer screen or paper.
I totally agree. And I like how sensitive you are to, certain words, because you understand what it's like to, meet someone that's really a good person, but, circumstances, life happens, and a lot of us are not educated on how to have financial freedom and these type of things. That's one of the reasons why this channel exists, where we learn and we grow together. If you're new to this channel, welcome in. What I do here is focus on bridging the gap between spirituality and material wealth. True wealth is what we're all about. We're into the physical and the metaphysical. Whoop. Tongue twister. That's number one for the night, guys. I always get a tongue twister. So we didn't upgrade on that part yet, but work with me, work with me, work with me. So we focus on the physical and the metaphysical realms of wealth. So if you're into that vibe, definitely subscribe every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, unless my schedule doesn't allow. I'm here sharing a wealth of knowledge, either by myself or with honorable people like Rod. So, Rod, tell me, what are the ranges of credit for people that might not understand? We go from bad
I've
to
seen
worse,
credit
go from
scores.
good to, how does it work?
I've seen credit scores as in the 400s. Actually, I've seen maybe once or twice in the 300s, but it goes from zero to. I've heard contradicting things. I've never seen anyone over an 850, but I've heard that the highest credit score is 900. But typically, you'll hear most people say 850. One of the first things I want to discuss with everybody that's in this live stream, a lot of people get caught up on credit scores. And you'll hear people, I hear it all the time. Oh, I want a 700 credit score. I want a 720. Oh, I really hear people, I want an 800 credit score. You can have a 700 credit score. And this is going back to the days of when I did a video of the credit hamburger. You can have a 700 credit score, and that your credit score is like the buns on a hamburger. But your credit report is everything in between those two buns: your meat, your
Mm-hmm.
lettuce, your cheese, pickles, onions, tomatoes, whatever you like.
Man, that is fact under fact right there. Yes.
Yeah, so the range is 0 to 850, but let me give you an example. If you have a 700 credit score and you don't really have anything, you have one credit card that you've had for 3 years and you've always paid it on time with $1,000 limit, but you have a 700 credit score. That's, we'll say that's Rod. But then Johnny has a 620 credit score. He was late on a couple of credit cards. His mortgage has been paid on time. His car auto loan has been paid on time. His personal loans have been paid on time. Johnny has a better chance with that 620 credit score to be approved than Rod with the 700 score, because all I have is a credit card, $1,000 limit. Who's going to give me an auto loan that's $20,000, $30,000 when I've only shown my trustworthiness to be able to work with $1,000? So I always tell people, know what's on your credit report, know what's in your credit. Focus on that. The score will come. The score will come. So many people, I want a 720. I work in automotive business development. I've seen a lot of people, I don't like to use the word turn down, but I've seen a lot of people declined because they had what they call a thin file. One credit card, maybe two credit cards. They never declined for auto loan. But the range, to answer Charlene's question in short form, I've heard 850 and I've heard it's 900 as far as high as you can go. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have a 750 and you have some stuff between the hamburger buns, you got the meat, cheese, all that good stuff, it's really no different than an 800. It really is no different. So see,
That
we
is
got my
true.
queen came in the building. Brown girl Bella, how you doing? How you
Oh
doing?
yeah,
Hey
brown girl
there.
Bella's in the house.
Hey there.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that because it got me to thinking that you absolutely need a variety. It's not just about having one thing. Like, for instance, if you have like a credit card or two, they kind of want to see other stuff, maybe a car loan or just something else that's a variety. So they know, okay, this person has multiple things. And a lot of people are so scared to have more than one or two credit cards or to have some other type of loan or so. Like even a personal loan can help your credit. It might take a dip in the beginning, but in the long run, it could help you. But I don't advise people to just take out a big loan that you can't pay back. Take out something that you know you already have the money sitting and you can pay back in like a really short period so you're not getting hit with all that interest. It's just for the sake of building your credit. That's
You're,
just my that's my take on that. So
you're right. You're right.
yeah. What are some of the best ways someone with a credit score of, let's say, 400? I I don't know if I told you this before, but not to laugh or anything, but a couple of years ago, I used to run a small credit card restoration, I'm sorry, credit restoration program within a small company. And, it was helping a lot of people and I loved it. But I remember one time someone came to me with a credit score that was so low. I've never seen it before. It frightened me. I was like, I didn't even know that was possible to have such a low score. And if your score is really low, like really, really low, don't be discouraged. Just hope. But you got to be patient and understand that credit takes time to build. It's not an overnight process. And trust me, don't let it stress you. Your credit will go up and down. every week or so. There's always something juggling in there. Even if you keep up with all your payments, it always goes up and down. So don't let it stress you. Take a deep breath. Be patient. It's going to get to where it needs to go as long as you keep working on it, you pay attention, you stay organized. Let me tell you guys something. I've never announced this on the channel, but a couple of years ago, and that's one of the reasons why I said I was going to start a credit restoration company, but I realized that it's not for me because I did it within a company, and I realized I would help people, but it's not something I want to do as a business. But unless there's an easy way to do it where it's automated for me and and I'm just helping people. But I'm saying this to say be patient. Don't let it stress you. Just keep doing what you got to do. And it's not hard. It's really not hard. A couple of years ago, I was in debt by $20,000 and I was able to get out of it. I had over 20 credit cards or so. I was just doing wild stuff out of college and all that. And you know what? It was a good learning experience for me. I never thought that I was going to be able to get my finances organized where I understood because it was so much credit cards. I didn't even know how much I owed on what and all that. And I always thought like I had to pay somebody to do this for me. And I started out that way. And then I started to realize, wait a minute, this is stuff I could do myself. So I started to educate myself. And from there, I resolved my problems. I'm just saying,
One thing
that's
I
a
want to
little
say,
bit about
Shirley,
my background there.
the people that's in the chat or people that watch the replay, a lot of times when I do an interview, I may wear a tie, a shirt, a jacket, sports coat. But most of the time, if you come to my channel, I throw on a t-shirt, a Adidas jacket, a hoodie, because I want people to see that I'm an everyday dude. Please don't think because I have a credit card channel or a credit channel or finance channel that I started out with a 750, 800 credit score. The lowest I remember mine being, I'm sure it was lower, but when I decided to look at it because I wasn't afraid, it was a 547. 547. And I'm somewhere around 790 right now. But
Whoop, whoop.
you have to, first and foremost, don't be afraid to look at your credit score.
Some
The,
people are.
the second thing, if you know it's not where you want it to be, start working on it. I guarantee you, it's not gonna be like Gilligan's Island. It's not gonna be only six other people that has challenge credit. The majority of the country has challenge credit. Notice I didn't say bad credit. I don't like the
Mhm.
term bad credit. Challenge credit, and yes, it's gonna be a challenge. What Charlene just said is it's gonna take time. Credit is not a sprint, it's a marathon. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are a low credit score of 400, 300, 500, it's one word that you need to become familiar with, and it needs to become your best friend. The word secured. SECURED. Secured.
Yep.
What do I mean by that? You go get a secured credit card. Rarely would you get turned down for a secured credit card because you're putting your money up as collateral. You decide not to, you $200 credit limit, $200 deposit. You decide you don't want to pay the credit card. They don't care.
Mhm.
They already have your $200. They don't care. But if you start to build up some self confidence, like, okay, this place gave me a chance. I'm going to do right by them. I'm going to build this $200 limit up to a $500 limit to a $1,000 limit. That's the first thing. Get a secure credit card. Wait about a year. I would go and look at probably getting a second card that's unsecured, but I would also make a move and I would probably take a look at a small, Charlene said it earlier, a small secured loan. You could try an unsecured loan, but let's say you can't get an unsecured loan. They say, Rod, nope, sorry, Rod, you don't have enough. Do y'all offer secure loans? I'm willing to put up some of my money, 1,000 of my own money, take about 12, maybe 15 months to pay it back. Now you have two, if not three positive things on what your credit report. We're not worried about the score just yet. I'm telling you right now. I ain't never did it, but my mama used to do it. Have you ever put a plant in a flower pot and you pour water on it today and you go back tomorrow expecting it to grow and it's still the same size? It's just like your credit report.
That's right.
You can go back next week, keep putting, it never grown an inch or two in the following week, but it's not going to be a palm tree sitting in your living room that's going to still be smart, but over time, it's going to grow as big as it's supposed to grow. So please, man, please, and patience. Two words you need to get: secured and patience. You have to secure credit card, and you can go. We're not talking. Next week is going to be the credit card portion, but this is a part of the credit. A secure credit card. When you get this Credit One or Bumblebee credit card to come in the mail, don't mess with that. Every big hitter out there, which accepts, I don't think Chase has it. Bank of America has a secure card. You don't have to have a bank account with it. American, not American Express.
I
Citi.
actually feel they're the best. Not to advertise for them, but sorry, not Bank of America, Capital One. That's
Yeah,
how I
Capital One is
started
a
my
good one.
credit journey to repairing my credit.
I started with Capital One, and that's a good place to start. They have a secure credit card. Um, but get you a secure credit card and don't go and put no $5,000 in there. Just put no more than $500 in there. Something where and this is not to go out and parlay at the Best Buy and try to buy a 69. Oh,
Right?
60 inch. This is just to buy small things, pay it off.
Yeah,
I
like
have a thing.
groceries or something. Yeah.
I have a thing on my channel where I call UPP. Use, post, pay. Use the card, pay, the charge, post, pay it. You don't have to wait to get an envelope in the mail. You don't have to wait to get a text message to pay it. Start off with smaller items. Go and get you a Happy Meal. I don't know, whatever you like to eat.
Okay, we're not going to do Happy Meal on this channel. We don't do Happy Meals over
Something pay
here.
$6, $8, and then when it posts, pay it off. If you got time to look at this little device and check Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube all day, won't you go over there and check your Capital One? As soon as you see a post, pay it. It's the
Exactly.
simplest things in the world. The
Yeah.
simplest things in the world.
Yeah, or just put a reminder or do auto pay. Auto pay or reminders, those are great ways to make sure that you're always on top. Man, listen, I got to back it up a little bit to the personal loan. I don't advise if your credit is like a 400 or something, don't go for the loan first. Go for the secured credit card and kind of
Yes.
work your way up to that. So please, I know that's what Rob meant, but I just got to make it so clear because it can hurt your score when you get, well, even if you get approved, your score goes down a little bit. But the fact that you didn't get approved, it's kind of not great for you. And when they see a lot of pulls, like hard pulls on your credit, it affects your score and your ability to get approved for the next thing that you might apply for. So be very careful. With the secured cards, it's almost like you're guaranteed to get a start with that. Most of them are like $100 or $200 to get started. You put that down, and guess what? You get that money back eventually. So
Yes,
don't even
please.
worry about it. It comes right back to you. So go for it. Yeah. Take your steps and start getting those layers in between the buns. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. And another thing, man, when you're dealing with credit, there are 5 components to a credit score. You have number one, the biggest part is 35% of your credit score is your payment history. How good do you pay on time? You don't want to have late payments. That's 35%. 30% is accounts, your balances. They call it your credit ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Your balance, your credit card balance to your credit card limit. 15% is the length of credit history. How long have you had credit? 10% is the credit mix, personal loans, credit cards, auto loans. I'm not too worried about that 10%. And then new credit. How often do you inquire for credit? Those are the main components of your credit score. Yes, you would think that 35%, payment history, yes, it's important. But in my world and in reality, your credit limit ratio is 30%, but it's the biggest part. I'm going to give you an example. If you're trying to raise your credit score and you get so frustrated because you're stuck at 650, which 650 is not a bad score, but you're trying to get to 700 or you're at 600, you're trying to get to 650. You get your credit card. You're paying it in full every month by the due date. You think you're doing big things, and you are. You're doing great. However, your credit ratio should not be over 30% of your overall credit limit. Let me use simple numbers. If your credit limit is 1,000 and your balance is 300, you can't, when it's time for that statement to close, you should not be over $300 that you owe the credit card issuer or the bank. That's why I use post pay. That way you don't have to worry about getting over 30% your credit ratio. Rod likes to stay at 10% or less because life happens. What if you have an emergency that take you from that 10% up to 30 or 40 or 50%? So what happens to a lot of people, include myself, when I say a lot of people, we is me. Everything that I talk about has happened to me at one point or another. So what you want to do is you want to get familiar with your closing date. That's the important date. So let me try to bring you into the world of Rod. I got $1,000 credit limit. I got a Capital One credit card. I've run it up to $600. It's cool because I have $600 to pay it by the due date. If my statement closes on the 3rd of the month, the 3rd of the month is when Capital One is going to report to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax your balance. So on the 3rd of the month, they're going to send that your balance is $600. So it's typically 21 days after the closing date. So your payment's probably going to be due the 24th. Here it is, the 3rd. You have a $600 balance. Your statement closes. Your little bill come in the mail about 7 days later. So, okay, Rod, your payment is due on the 24th. We're doing big things. We pay 3-4 days earlier. We pay on the 20th. We don't wait till the 24th. But guess what? Your credit ratio, as far as the credit bureaus and the lenders see it, is not 30%. It's not 0%. It's 60% because when they reported on the 3rd, you owe $600. Now on the 20th, when you pay it, it's going to probably post on the 21st. Your balance is now 0. But that's not going to get reported as 0. It's going to get reported on what the statement closing date is, $600. That's why when we sit back, wait on our credit score to go up from 600 to 620, it's still that it might go to 601. Or if you had a 60% ratio, it may go to 590. You're like, hold up, man. I'm paying my bills on time. I haven't missed a car note. Why is my credit score not going up? What is going on with this? And the answer is you're spinning your wheels. Yes, paying on time is extremely important, but your credit ratio of your balance to your credit limit, that's key. That is key. If you go over 30%, I guarantee your credit score going to drop. And you can pay every month on time, twice a month. But if you don't catch that statement closing date and bring that down before that statement date closes. So what I would recommend, if I know my statement closes 3rd, probably the 31st of the previous month, I'm going to try to pay as much of that balance down. If not, pay it all off if I can, but at least get it to below 30. So in our scenario, if I have a balance of 600 and if I know I have $600, why am I going to wait till the 24th? I'm going to go ahead and pay it on the 30th or the 31st of the month. So by the 3rd of the following month, it's already showing a balance of 0. What get reported to the credit bureaus? Rod has a 0 balance on the Capital One credit card. I don't have $600. I have $350. Pay the $350. The only thing you have to watch now, even though if you pay the $350 for the closing date, you still, after the close date, they're probably going to have a $25 minimum payment. I don't care. I just took a big chunk. $350 out. I don't mind paying the $25 and keep that continuous. You have to keep that going month in. It may be a month you can't do it. Try to make it a month you don't use a card.
Now that makes sense. That makes sense. Exactly. If you can't do it, don't do it. I hear you. And that part is a little tricky. It used to trick me up. I'm not even sure I'm still clear on it. So I'm so glad that you brought it up. Like, and you have to call your credit card companies to know your closing date because they're not going to explain this stuff to you unless you ask, or a representative. It's just so nice enough to ask. And not to advertise for Capital One, but they work with you to help you. One of the best companies that I've done business with, I'm telling you. Capital One, That's where it's at. If I could do an affiliate or something for them, I would, because I just love what they do over there. I just want to take a moment. Everyone that's in the chat, shout out, welcome, welcome, welcome. We feel the love, we feel the vibe. If you have questions, you can start asking. Just drop it in the chat. Um, I'm laughing because I see a funny question in the chat. Did you see it, Rob? I
I'm
keep
looking
calling you
through it
Rod.
now.
Rod, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I've been letting you slide. I can't believe I've been letting you slide, but
He's letting me slide.
you so nice.
Listen, D and B is just back to front.
You do it on my channel. Trust me, you're gonna hear about it for about 7 good minutes. That my name is not Rob, it's Rob.
One has a butt and one has a belly. You have a
Yeah,
belly or
that's
a
what
butt?
I say, man. Turn that B around, put it in the back, put the booty in the back, make it a D.
See, I told y'all he's funny, guys. All right. Okay, here's the question for you, my brother.
Okay, from Edgepoo215 channel, how you doing? My son's glad to have you in here. Do PBT plan on disconnecting from those 30 credit cards? I actually have 32, and that's a great question. What makes me want to not disconnect is that average age of accounts. And this is a great question. Thank you, Edge, for asking that question. Typically the cards you don't want to keep is typically the ones you've had the longest and maybe have a lower limit. They don't want to give you a credit increase. I do have about 5 cards that I want to get rid of, and I need to make a decision this year because I've had them a couple of years. And what do I mean by average age of accounts? Let me I've dropped a couple boulders. I just didn't give an announcement, but I'm gonna make an announcement on
Yeah,
this.
this is a good one. Let's go.
Boulder alert. When I say boulder alert, it's time to get your pens and paper. And I'm gonna tell you, even my own live stream, or if I'm on someone else's, you'll always see me with pen and paper, pencil and paper. So, and I almost got my train of thought. So it's these credit cards, the average age of accounts. If you have a credit card that you've had 10 years, and then you go apply for a new card. I don't care how good your score is, how bad your score is, how challenged it is. Your average age of accounts is now 5 years. If you only had that one card, and that's the only card you have, you had it 10 years, your average age of accounts is 10 years. Mm-hmm. As soon as you go apply for a second card, it's going to cut in half. When you go apply for a third card, it's going to cut in by 3. Why do people go and keep applying for stuff and they wonder, why is my credit score dropping? Because you're chopping up your average age of accounts. So to answer Angie Pooh's question, I need to get rid of a couple because I don't use them. They're overlapping with the benefits. I do not recommend anybody get 32, 30. I don't even recommend 20 credit cards. I became a master of my craft and learned how to manipulate the cards, the points, and the miles, and the travel for free, get cash back. But I don't recommend a person probably have 3 to 5. That's my recommendation. If I could do it all over again, I'd probably still have 30 because I understand the game, but I wouldn't recommend it to nobody. But
yes, it's not for everybody. It could become very hard to manage if you don't know what you're doing. So
yeah, definitely. So that's a great question.
What you can handle.
And I'll probably do some videos. I'll probably do a video. I definitely do a video, or maybe go live when I cancel a credit card.
Yeah. What's the best way to get rid of credit cards that you no longer need? Because I know when you do that, it impacts 2 parts of your score. You know, like the age that you just talked about, and so that drops your score automatically. And then the fact that you're closing, it just drops your score.
If you have
lowers your ratios in different, it affects you in a negative way. So how do you do that? I'm like, you might as well just keep it.
If you have a credit card, first of all, don't get emotional. I did a video. I did a lot of I got like 600 videos in live stream. Don't get emotional. If we call and ask for a credit limit increase, and they tell us no, the first thing we want to do, forget Capital One. I'm gonna close this account. You ain't hurting them. Well, you are, because they want your money. But you're hurting yourself, because what if you had it 5 years and you close it? Kind of what Charlene just said, it's going to hurt your score. Thank whoever you're talking to, get off the phone, cuss and puff and all that, but keep that card. You don't want to hurt yourself. Now, if you have a credit card that has no annual fee, you don't pay anything for it. I don't care if you use it or not. Go to 7-Eleven and get some Cheetos, some Fritos, some Doritos once every 6 months. What, $1.49, $1.59 now? Pay it off. You want to use it so they don't close it. But if you have no annual fee, what is it costing you to have that card? Now, every card that I'm thinking about getting rid of has a minimum of a $95 annual fee, meaning every year I'm having to pay, whether I use it or not, $95, maybe $150. So I wouldn't get rid of a credit card if it didn't have an annual fee. I wouldn't. I would not get rid of a credit card. And when y'all go to the mall, or I'm gonna say the mall because this is where they get you, and they tell you, would you like to apply for this credit card and get a 10% discount? Unless you just go there all the time, you have to have that card. Before they finish, they tell them, nope, no ma'am, no sir, you don't have to be mean, just no ma'am, no sir, I'm not interested. Here's a boulder. If you go to Dillard's or Macy's and you apply for a card and they tell you you're going to get an answer in 7 to 10 days, act like Rod is on your shoulder and telling you you just been declined.
Yep.
You ain't getting no card in those 7 to 10 days. You're going to get a letter that say you're not getting the card because
Facts,
if you get a card,
facts.
they're going to tell you right then and there. So when you
Yes.
leave Macy's, don't go to Best Buy and they say, would you like to get 10% off your purchase today if you apply for the card? Yeah, I just applied for one in Macy's and they said I should be here is some 17. So I may as well. I'm on the road. Let me apply here too. Okay, ma'am, sir, you're gonna hear something 7 to 10 days. You're gonna hear something, all right. You're gonna hear Rod on your shoulder say, I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. So.
And they get you good because, especially if you're a newbie to the whole credit thing. Oh, would you like to apply for a credit? And you're excited because you want to build this thing called credit and do all that stuff. That's kind of how I got started on my track of, I was approved and it encouraged me. I kept getting approved for different cards and I built it all the way up to, I couldn't even count how many. I probably had like 30, but unlike you, I wasn't educated. I didn't know how to manage it. And I winded up $20,000 in debt. But thank goodness that's all behind me now. I got a whole new set of debts. But we got another question in the chat. But before we get to that, everyone that's coming in, welcome in. Thank you all for being here. Please make sure to hit the thumbs up and share this out. This is great information for our community to help us to just live better. When your credit is jacked up, man, it can flux up your life. You don't want your life to be fluxed up. You want to live with flow, with ease. When you see a message from your company about your credit, there's a change on your credit score or something, you don't want to feel jittery and nervous, like, oh my God, you want to feel at ease, like, all right, everything is fine, or at least you're working on it. This can help you take a lot of stress out of your life and help you to live better, to live well. Sometimes we have so many unnoticed stress and fears and stuff inside of us that we don't take time to just pay attention to. But it affects us. Credit is part of your health system. So let's get it right. Let's learn and let's share with our community. It's not about me getting popular or Rod getting popular. It's about us sharing the knowledge that we have to help our community. So Rod, let's get to the next question. Hey.
Okay, this is a great question. And please, if y'all have a question, for those of you that don't know, I don't want to say suffering, but I have laryngitis. I don't even supposed to be on YouTube, but Charlene and I already rescheduled this once, and I wasn't going to reschedule this one, but I'm kind of taking it easy. So if you have questions, I don't know when I'm going to be back in the full swing of things. So right now is the time to ask while you have me here. How long on average does it take to increase your credit score? It's going to vary, J. Cool, from person to person. It's going to vary on what are you doing to increase your credit score. I wouldn't check, personally. I wouldn't check every week. If I was checking, I wouldn't check my credit score every week. I would, if I had a Credit Karma's okay. I'm not a big fan of them, but Experian or Equifax or TransUnion, at a minimum, get your credit report once a year. Annualfreecreditreport.com, at least once a year. I say look at it twice to check your score. But what I would look at it more frequently is for erroneous information, especially if you have a common name, Joe Williams, John Smith. Check it. It's off the report. Don't worry about what the little three numbers say. What's in there? Y'all, I'm gonna give you an example. I recently opened a Bank of America account for Points Play Network, a business account. Last night, I went on there to link my Bank of America account to one of my crypto accounts. And do you know my account is negative $360 because somebody been on Amazon shopping?
What?
I never even used this card. I've used it twice and that's to make 2 deposits. It's never left my wallet. Somehow somebody there having a ball. Anyway, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the phone with Bank of America going ballistic. But getting back to this, I would give it, expect a good increase, a noticeable increase at a minimum 6 months. Don't say in 6 weeks. Yeah, I know my score just shot up. 200 points is you're probably going to disappoint yourself. You're probably going to disappoint yourself. I'm looking here. I just saw.
Oh, was it that comment about the credit going up?
Let's say you're going to hear no comment at the store. Yes, Elevate Revern said read the APR rates and be cautious. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Rates are crazy now. I'm like, what happened to the good rates like 7.99, 4.99? I don't see those anymore.
And you got a 750 credit score, not right now, because right now it's kind of tricky. In normal times, if you got a 750 credit score, you probably should get an auto loan somewhere 2.99, 3.29. But go and get a credit card, and I don't care if you're a 750 or not, 9 times out of 10, that APR is going to still be over 20%.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We is me. We don't care. Man, I'm so glad I got this little piece of plastic with all these numbers on it. I'm about to run to the store. I got an envelope right here. You get your envelope in the mail, I guarantee you, when you feel that little hard piece of plastic over here, you gonna rip this joint open. You ain't looking at nothing but that piece of plastic. You ain't reading nothing up in there. This, at least, I'm gonna be late. I'm just gonna give y'all an example. Let me open this up. Matter of fact, it's gonna be raggedy too. This might be an old envelope. I don't even know.
All right, this is what we used to do, but now that we're getting education from Rod, we know we're not gonna do that.
We're gonna open this card up. We're gonna open this stuff up. I'm gonna turn it back. We don't care. We're gonna take that card, rip it off. Get on the phone, get on the computer. We're gonna activate that joint, and guess what we're doing there? We in the car. And we going to the store, not the store. We going to the store, baby. We going shopping. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to the spa. All that.
You better look at that. Look at the APR, because it's gonna hit you upside the head, boy. Especially if you make minimum payment. I'm a cash kind of girl. I have one credit card, Amex. Is that a bad thing? Nope.
Not a bad thing at all.
It's not a bad thing at all, because everybody. And if you got an Amex, you ain't got a challenge score. You got a pretty good score anyway.
Yeah, they don't accept just anybody. So, hey, Angie.
So it's not a bad thing. Now, if you travel frequently and you're always on a plane, you're always on a cruise, you're always going to visit friends or family, I would probably have a couple different. I would have a hotel card, an American Express, and maybe an airline card, and maybe a cashback card. Right now, all of my cards have a purpose. I have American Airlines card, I have a Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt. Actually, I have 3 American Airlines cards, 2 business, 1 personal. And I got several American Express cards, but each one has a purpose. Because from now to the end of the time, I don't plan on paying for no more trips. None. Just to give y'all a little motivation, and this ain't bragging, I'm just being real. Like, hey, put a 1. No, don't do that, because you're going to have stuff in the chat. But if you can relate, just sit back and think about it. Have you ever got on an airplane and walked through first class and went all the way to the middle or the back of the plane? Because when you look to book your plane, and it said first class ticket was $1,900, you know, and I'm looking at, and I'm on the same plane, the same people, and my ticket $400. I'm not doing that, man. That didn't make sense to Rod.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt lovely when I walked through first class. I stopped at stuck a seat in first class and sat down, and they looked at me like I was lost. Like, well, sir, I'm sure you're supposed to be economy. You're in the right place. You're damn right I'm in the right place. My language,
Wait a minute. They
but,
said that to
but,
you? Oh, hell to the no.
no, this is the look I got. This is how I felt. So when
Oh.
I sat down, but I didn't worry about how much it cost. I didn't pay $1,900. I used American Airlines points. So now I know what it feels like to ride at first class, and I hate I ever did it because now I'm hooked on it, and I'm gonna run out of points sooner or later. But I raised my credit score from 340 to 800 plus in 11 months. Currently, my score is 900. Okay, and I own 0 credit cards. There you go. Somebody with a 900 credit score. You don't have to have credit cards to have a good credit score.
Exactly.
You do have to be very meticulous, and you can't. When I say a slip up, you can't have too many inquiries. And I'm sure Marie can account to that. She said, I don't deal with credit cards, and they're not for everybody. They're not. Some people don't have a car loan because they're in a city that doesn't require a car. They take the subway or the train. You know, you don't have to go get a credit card. I don't tell people to go get a credit card. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm just telling people what I'm doing, flying for free. But next week is credit cards. But I agree. It's not very.
No. It's so tempted to get into it because it's so exciting. I can't wait for that. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. And obviously, if you don't know what you're doing, follow someone that knows what they're doing and learn from them. If not, just leave it alone. Because like Rod said, it's just not for everyone. But if you are in a bad position and you're looking to improve your credit, it's a way to start. You can start with a secured card, and then maybe a store card. They might give you $100 or $200 to start off with, and they see how you pay your monthly rates and all that, and you go from there. But take time, take patience. Marie, I am so curious as to how you started off, because for my journey, it was a credit card for me. How did you start off? What was your journey like, if you don't mind sharing to help the community?
I do want to hear that as well, and I agree with Marie though. She don't like credit card. Don't get a credit card. If you don't know how to drive, it makes sense. Don't go buy a car.
Right?
You know what I mean? I agree with it. If you don't like it, don't get it. If I don't like coconuts, I'm not gonna go buy a bunch of Almond Joys. But I see another question. Brown Gabella said, "Warren, are you a fan of Credit Karma?" It rarely is accurate. Credit Karma charges people for a service. You're going to pay something. It's most of the time it's not accurate. I guarantee you, if you look at Credit Karma and then you go look at your Experian report, TransUnion report, and your Equifax, you're going to see 2 different pictures. Now, I don't disagree with Credit Karma because at least people are showing some type of discipline by looking at their credit score, their credit report. I'm just not a fan of it. I've never had it, never will. And I get asked all the time, well, Rod, why is my Experian report saying 680, but my Credit Karma is saying 720? You want to go by the bureau's score. That's the accurate. Maybe Credit Karma's behind. Maybe your score was 720, somewhere in between everything that was going on, but I'm just not a fan of it because I want to go directly to the source. I want to when I check my credit, I go to Experian. Some kind of way I got it free. I don't remember how it happened. Or I go to TransUnion or I go to Equifax. I'm not going to deal with most of my credit cards. I get a credit journey. I can look at my credit report there. I can go to my Bank of America account right now. And they use credit something. But that score is always different than my Experian. And their user experience is always different. So it's not just Credit Karma. I just like to go to the source. There are some places where it's beneficial to have a credit card versus using your debit card, renting a car, a hotel. Yes, exactly. You know what? I only use my debit card. Again, I'm not promoting credit cards, but I only use my debit card for one thing. One thing only. Well, 2 things. In the state of Texas, you cannot register your car with a credit card. You have to use a debit card or cash. And to go to the ATM. I don't get nothing out of a debit card. When I go, matter of fact, yeah, I do. If I'm in a store, if I'm in Kroger or grocery store, I use my debit card. I'm not getting anything out of it. But if I'm disciplined and I use my Discover It card from January to March, I'm getting 5% cash back. If I use my U.S. Bank custom cash card, I get 5% back all year long. 5% cash back and I'm spending $100, that's $5 back. I use my debit card, I'm not getting anything. I take that $5, I invest it. Hence, you got to check out Points Play Finance. I might turn that $5 into $25. I might turn that $5 into $8. So it's just, it's I don't use my debit card. I personally don't. If you don't like cheese on your cheeseburger, get a hamburger. If you like cheese on your cheeseburger, get a cheeseburger. Just
I hear you. And no, there's some debit cards that are now offering like little perks. Like if you shop here, you get a little kickback, and I like that. And some of them do like a top over, and they automatically put the savings. But I don't know how much of a bonus that is. But I like the perks as to, okay, you'll get a little cash back or something if you shop at certain places. If I shop there already, why not? But here's the next one. I have a few inquiries. I last owned a credit card over 7 years ago. That's incredible.
Marie, I got a question. Now, I'm just asking because it's happened to me. It's happened to the best of us. If you haven't had a credit card in over 7 years, was there a negative experience that led you? Because a lot of people, I was one of them. A lot of people, when you get in debt, and I got in debt years ago, and once I got out of debt, I didn't want nothing to do with a credit card. I didn't know nothing about the points and miles. Man, credit what? No, I don't need no credit card. I got a debit card. And I wouldn't touch them for years, probably for 8, 9 years. I only got back in the credit card game in 2016, deep like I am now. But before that, I didn't do it.
Wow. It's funny that you asked that because look at what she said. Thank you so much for sharing, Marie. You know, we're a community of love,
Yes,
and
thank
helping
you.
each other. Appreciate that. Thank you.
It's exact, and I didn't see her comment. It was exactly what I was thinking. It was
Mhm.
I did not see her comment. Anybody that know Rod know I'm terrible with getting through the comments, so I didn't see that. But that is exactly what I was thinking. And
Sometimes it takes these kind of things for us to learn and, you know, share with each other and grow. You know, we learn from these things.
I like to use
Totally.
analogies, Charlene, but I always think if I was a lot of people, let's say if you, like I just said, I personally went 7 to 10 years where I didn't touch a credit card. God forbid, but if a person is in an auto accident, it may be a while before they want to go get in a car again or want to drive again because they think about what happened to them. If you in debt,
Mm.
I totally understand. Now I'm really feeling what Marie was saying. J. Cools, are there any shortcuts to increase my score if I want to get a good rate on a car? I'm gonna tell you, J. Cool, I get asked that a lot. If there are shortcuts, I don't know them.
You got to
I'm
do
being
the
real with
time,
you.
honey.
I don't know them because I just do what you need to do. And I'm just being one thing about me is I have a segment on the Points Blank Experience, Real Talk with Rod. That's why the name of the channel is all the channels is Points Blank. I'm gonna hit you point blank right between the eyes. I ain't got time to sugarcoat nothing. J. Cool, the last time I took a shortcut in real life, instead of walking along the highway, I took a shortcut. This really happened through. It was a little path through kind of like some wilderness kind of stuff. The next time I know I'm 10 feet from a coyote. I ain't took a shortcut since then. Real life or credit card. So, okay, yes, J. Cool, I can explain that. So, and it's let me find the real name. Hold on, real quick. Real quick. It's
What are you looking for? J. Cool's.
kind of like your credit usage. So we're gonna say credit utilization. That's the word. I couldn't think of that for nothing. Your
Oh,
credit utilization. That's what it's called J. Cool. Experts say, I'm not an expert, but experts say, do not let your credit utilization get over 30%. So, and I'm gonna go as slow as I need to because this is so important. If I have to say this 12 times, I mean, if need be, if Charlie got something to do, I get off her channel, get on my channel, and I say it 11 more times because people really need to understand this. So, if your balance is $300 and your credit limit is $1,000, all you got to do is take your balance divided by the credit limit, and that equals your credit utilization. So 300 divided by 1,000 is 30%. You do not want to be, according to the experts, you don't want to be over 30%. You go 35%, 40%, you guarantee your credit score is going to decrease. How much? I'm not going to test it to see. But
that's right.
If if you happen to go over 30%, that's okay. Don't think because you got $1,000 credit card that you can never go and spend over $300. That's not the case. Let's say you go to $600. You might even go to $800. But before that Capital One or whatever credit card this is, statement closes, you need to bring that balance down as close to 30% or as close to $300 as you can.
Yep.
The key to this is statement closing. You can run your card up all the way to $999, but don't leave it there past that statement closing date, because your credit utilization is going to be determined by how much your balance is in relation to your credit limit. So now notice I say experts said 30%. Rod said don't go over 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because if an emergency happened and I'm forced to go up to 30 or 40%, I'm not going to just get comfortable being at 30%. I can get up to 30%. No, I'd like to be at 10. Because the lower your credit utilization percentage is, the higher your score. Lower the percentage, lower your debt, higher your credit score. So hopefully that answered your question.
Cool. And here's a simple way to look at it. I used to give my clients an example of, okay, if your credit limit is $100, don't utilize more than $30. In other words, don't spend or use more than $30. That's 30%. If you're coming above that, and I would even tell them, try to even go less than $30, less than the 30%. Because if you put the mark even below, it makes it a little more comfortable. Like Rod is extreme. He goes to 10%. I used to advise like 25, 20%. But hey, if you could do 10%, then do it, because really it's just a way for you to build. And if you can just pay it off every month, go for it. Good question. Appreciate that. It's a good refresher to people that don't know. Hey, we appreciate this, Marie. I try to bring topics here that's going to help people to grow, not just money wise, but with wisdom and knowledge. Key things that we need to thrive and to share with the young ones coming up. Most important part about financial freedom is to make sure you establish an emergency savings account that will cover up to 12 months. Before it used to be what, 6 months or 3 months? Now it's 12 months.
It used to be 3, then they say 6. I
I
agree with
like the
Maria.
year thing, or even more than a year, because like there's so much going on right now. It's not even funny.
Well, with inflation, prices, that pandemic stuff, my rule of thumb, and I like what Marie just said. Matter of fact, I love it. Because when you read, most places you read now, it's going to say 3 to 6 months. That's not true anymore. 12 months is good, but I say as much as you can save. You got to live. You got to enjoy life. But how many people were out of work the last couple of years for 2+ years? Even if they had 12 months, even if they were like Rod and maybe only did 6 months, what happened at 7th month? What happened at 13th month? They were still out of work. Nothing was open. So my rule of thumb is I try to have a savings of as much as I can. I'm going to live, even with my YouTube revenue. I just recently bought this chair. This is the first thing I bought with any of my YouTube revenue.
Awesome.
All of my revenue from YouTube goes to working capital account where I'm buying stuff, subscriptions, StreamYard, Ecamm.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know the rest of it go into a savings account, stocks, EFTs, exchange traded funds, and crypto. I invest, probably take a 30% for taxes. So 70% of my money 20% probably go to savings, the other 50 go investments. And if I lose it all today, I'll be like, you know what? I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna run around and have some pom-poms. But if I lose it all today, well, Rod, we have a whole lot.
Where's our cheerleader? Oh, she's coming on Saturday. Guys, make sure you tune in Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be live with the YouTube cheerleader. I don't have the thumbnail yet because I'm still waiting on her to send me some information. But we'll be here live. I'm sorry, I had to say that. You mentioned the pom-poms. I had to say it. I can't imagine you with that.
I was live with her earlier today on Instagram, and she mentioned that she was going to be on your channel.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
I was just
Really,
reading
with
what
credit,
Maria
it's
was
so much. It's hard to do it.
saying. This is a great tip. I've never heard this one before. I don't know about you, Rod. Have you heard this before?
Yeah,
In
that's what I was just saying with the
2012.
Doritos, the Cheetos, and the Fritos.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. Y'all,
For
I
those that are
looked
coming
up.
after, you have to look in the chat to see what Marie said because I had a little something going on with my throat and it's kind of hurting, so I don't want to speak too much. But definitely get in the chat section and you'll be able to see what she's saying. It's a great tip on how you can rate your credit score. Thank you for sharing that, Marie. You're awesome.
You know what, Charlie? Even if I'm paying something that costs 50 cents, I'm using a credit card.
Exactly.
I go to the vending machine every day at work and I pull out my PayPal card. I don't have my wallet on me. And every time I buy a bag of M&Ms, I'm getting 2% of my $1.50 back. $1.50
Mhm.
back. I want my cash back, but also activity on that card. Activity on that card. You want to shop.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's smart. And if you're a person that you feel like you're easily tempted to overspend or overuse money or misuse money, this is probably a good discipline. She just asked for a limit of $500 so she doesn't, have too much to deal with. So I think that's smart. That's brilliant. Rob, before we close it out, I just want you to take a moment. There's two things I always ask my family that come on here. How do you give back to the community? Because we're a social, conscious, business awareness type of vibe over here. So, how do you give back to the planet, the earth, the community? And then the last question is going to be, what advice can you give to young entrepreneurs out there or anyone with a bad credit score? How can you be encouraging to them? You can take whichever one you want to go first.
As far as giving back to the community, excuse me, I
Hmm.
have through my channel memberships, and it's like I think $4.99 is the minimum for the gold membership. $9.99 is platinum. I think it's called platinum. And you join those memberships, you get my personal number. The only thing I ask is text first, in case I'm recording, in case I'm in a live stream, in case I'm in a meeting at work. You get direct access to me. I've also given away quite a bit of the super chats that I get on my live streams. I've given those away. I know for keeping up with the Griffins, when um, Christy was pregnant with her daughter, I mean, no, son, every time I went into one of their live streams, I was super chatting and said, hey, I can't tell y'all to do what to do with this money. I don't tell people what to do with money. I give them. But if y'all could do me a favor, maybe start Drew's for the babies college fund. At least let this be a start. I can't remember how much I gave it. Didn't matter. Um, I probably have given away more money than I made in the form of super chats or YouTubes. And one of the things going forward, I want to do probably the first one or two, maybe no calls, first come, first serve. I do want to get into public speaking and what we're talking about today, and maybe just go to a place. I don't get into color and all that, but I get into knowledge and lack of knowledge. I was one of those people that had a lack of knowledge, so I want to do like a seminar and don't charge anybody anything. You just show up, just show up. And what was the second question, Charlene? I forgot already.
I thought this stuff affected your throat, not your brain. How dare you forget?
No, man.
I'm messing with you. Okay. It was any words of encouragement for young entrepreneurs or someone that might have a bad credit score, that kind of stuff.
Young entrepreneurs, I would say, first and foremost, don't listen to negative people. People are gonna try to bring you down because they're afraid to try things themselves. If you have a plan or an idea, keep it to yourself. You may need some advice or guidance, but try to keep it to yourself, um, and go for it. Don't. I know I'm one of the people that I regretted a couple of things I didn't do in my lifetime, and don't procrastinate. Don't be hesitant. I want to start this business. I know I can do it, but I don't have this. Guess what? All this stuff I've been talking about credit tonight, I didn't learn all of this overnight. I watched well over 1,000 YouTube videos. I read countless articles, and I just kept educating myself. So educate yourself. Whatever you want to do, Educate yourself. When it comes to challenge credit, I would say start using positive terminology. Therefore, you'll have a positive mental attitude. And what do I mean by that? Let's let's get rid of some of these words we've been hearing and using. First one, get rid of the word bad. You don't have bad credit. You have challenge credit. Quit worrying about your score. Just do the thing. Start reading. Start. You really want to know how to do it? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna tell you all about it. But let's say you don't have YouTube. You don't even have cable. Go to Starbucks or something. If you got a phone, go where they got free Wi-Fi. Start reading. What do I need to do? Now, I'm gonna tell you after about 10 different articles, they're gonna start sounding repetitive. Increasing your credit score is not hard, but patience. Secure card, patience. Those two words need to be your favorite words, but stop saying I can't or I'll never. I'll never have a good credit score. I'll never have a 750. I can't get a good credit score. I'm not meant to be good. I don't know nothing about credit because my parents didn't teach me. I hear that so much. Well, guess what? My parents didn't teach me about credit. And God rest both their soul, but I would give every penny I got right now if anybody can prove to me that they had one credit card. They didn't have a credit card. So I could use that excuse. My parents didn't teach me, but as long as I got this and I got some kind of signal, there are two colleges that are free. Google University and YouTube State College. Don't cost anything. Anything you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it on Google and or YouTube. You want to learn how to invest in stocks? You want to learn how to save money? I have a whole channel dedicated to teaching people points blank finance on how to invest 10 to 20 bucks. And I'm going to tell you right now, Angie Pooh was talking about me having 32 credit cards. Let me throw another number at you. Again, this ain't bragging. I'm just showing you the possibilities. And you want to know how I learned? My parents didn't teach me. I used to buy a newspaper pre-Google, pre-internet. I used to buy a newspaper and I would throw every section away. Sports, comics, sale papers, weather paper. I threw all of it. All I kept was the finance portion. And I started reading the stock market. I self-taught myself. I started learning the symbols. I only had $25 to invest a month. No, 50. Started out with 25. Right now, I'm invested in over 85 different stocks, 85 different, more companies, because several companies may follow the one stock. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Anybody. So don't tell yourself you can't. Matter of fact, two things I do when I get up in the morning. One thing I don't miss. One of them I may slip up and miss. First I do, I thank God. Thank whoever you believe in for giving you air to breathe and strength to get up and get out of bed and wake you up. But then within 15 minutes of me being up, I'm gonna walk to one of these 12, however many mirrors I got in the house. I'm gonna look in the mirror and say, today's a new day, Rod. I can't. You didn't hear me say I can't. I can't. Whatever I'm saying, I did today. That's just a little note from ROD from PBT. It's been a pleasure being here with Charlene. I always like when I get to go to different channels, and Charlene is such a great spirit, a great person. My voice, I don't know if you can tell, it's cracking. It's not 100%, but there was no way I was catching this again and missing the opportunity to work with this wonderful lady. There was no way. And I even got me some butterscotch in case it got too dry. No, calm. I was gonna put this in my mouth. I was ready. I got water.
You know, Charlene Hill, not the conscious business Charlene. Charlene Hill will give you a warning finger. Butterscotch candy.
Yeah. Do you know I found out? This is totally out topic, but with this laryngitis, one of the worst things you can do is take a cough drop with menthol or eucalyptus. It's not good for you. It irritates the voice box. I never heard of that in my life. Everything that they told me to do or not to do is everything I was doing, because drinking lemon and honey and tea and all that. Nope, the lemon had so much acid. It wasn't doing it.
I tell you, well, it's different from a sore throat. It's totally a different thing.
Right.
Oh boy, but I am so grateful that you came through, and believe me, I was willing to give you a little more time to heal. But you told me you were fine, so I was surprised when I saw. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's still not 100, and My son brought something home, my little one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my throat is messed up for the last 2 days. But if I do get down, I don't stay down long. So I'm already starting to feel back to myself again. Yesterday I was in so much pain. I'm like, okay, I gotta do this tomorrow. So you know what? We're pros. We show up when we need to show up and do what we gotta do. And brother, I commend you and I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for sharing your wisdom with the community. And even though you're going through what you're going through, you showed up, you showed out, you did your thing, you had some laughs, your energy was hype and all that stuff. So kudos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so honored. And let me read this last statement from Marie before we leave out. And she says, and I totally agree, this is a great way to close this. Center yourself around goal focused people. Goal focus. I'm not talking silly goals. I'm talking goals that align with yours. You know, if you're on your entrepreneurial journey, how successful do you want your business to be? How financially successful you want to be? What kind of mindset you want to have? How do you want to impact the world? How are you showing up?
It's
That kind of vibe.
two things, if I could say it, I just thought about it. Number one, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I don't want to
That's
be the
right.
smartest person in the room. But three things. The day that Rod stopped learning is the day I want to stop existing. Going back to that, I can't. Do you know how many people told me I can't start a YouTube channel? The younger people, Rod, you too old for that, man. You ain't gonna be ready. They're gonna be talking. You're gonna get mad because they're gonna be criticizing you. I said, you know what? Y'all right, man. I ain't doing no YouTube. I ain't got to tell you right. I'll do one off on somebody. 4 YouTube channels later and a podcast that I'd rather talk about because I haven't
Woo!
uploaded.
I got one coming out too. We could trade notes. Not sure when I'm gonna launch. I got so much going on right now, but I want to do one that's focused on sexual healing because that's like such a big, wide topic. And I want to look at it from the perspective of spirituality and trauma and releasing and healing. You know me and my healing
You
vibes.
should
So
do it, Charlene, because you have the perfect voice for a podcast. Perfect. I'm telling you, I don't have a perfect voice. And if I could do it, you really should be doing
you're funny. You are so funny. But I don't understand the technical aspects of this stuff yet. So that's my biggest challenge right now. And I don't have the time to learn and download because I'm learning so many new things right now. So I have to just do everything in divine order. So it's
It's
coming,
not
it's
that hard.
coming.
I thought it was hard too. It's not. You could actually record on StreamYard, download the audio portion, and then just upload it to your podcast.
Okay, are you gonna do it? Because I realize now that you can actually do podcasts on YouTube platform itself, or are you gonna choose like a different platform?
Well, I have a different platform now. I was gonna do, and then reality slapped me in the face. I already had the name. I already had a YouTube channel. I already had the logo created. I was gonna take my Real Talk with Rod segment from the Points Blank Experience and make it as. Matter of fact, my podcast is called Real Talk with Rod. But I was also going to have a YouTube channel that I was
Ooh,
going
you
to.
copying from me? I got a real talk with Charlene.
Do you?
No,
I didn't know that. I promise I didn't know that.
eh,
But you know what? You know what,
life
Charlene?
every Monday. No, 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 no. That's good. I love it. I love
You
it.
know what they told
Listen,
me? There's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copy it from the right cat. So I'm
no,
glad I
we
copied
don't
from you.
own none of this. All this comes from the divine. We don't own it. We share it. We embrace each other, brother. I lift you up. Do your thing. I'll be there as much as I can, supporting, cheering you on, because I like your vibe. You're real peeps.
Thanks. Well,
Appreciate you,
I
man.
told Charlene, I said, man, I got enough channels. I don't need another channel. I'm not doing no Real Talk with Rod YouTube channel. I'll do the podcast, but I'm going to take my Real Talk with Rod live streams and upload them to the podcast for people that don't mess with YouTube. But I'm like, no, man,
Exactly.
your plate's full. Every day is like Thanksgiving. My plate is full. I don't need no more food on the plate.
Listen, don't block your blessings. Don't stop that. Don't say, listen, I'm open to receiving more good than I've ever received. And everything that's for me, I now allow peacefully to flow into my life. So this way you're not excited and anxious about things that are going to come to you. Because sometimes when we think about how much we have to do, it could feel overwhelming and like, oh my God, I can't handle it. And that's us mentally or subconsciously blocking our success. I had to literally talk to myself the other day because I've learned to listen to my thoughts. Because my Facebook started to just grow. every day now I see hundreds of people coming in. And it took me a while to build up to that because I know what my goal is. And then something said to me, oh, well, not something, but another part of me, the part that's not used to having that much success on YouTube, I'm sorry, on Facebook, said, can you handle all this? I don't know if you can handle this. And I said, hello, we have a goal. We know what we're going to do. We have to use our voice to create a better planet, a better world. And everything that's coming, all the growth and the success that's happening, we're going to be able to handle it because it's happening for a reason. So I had to gently speak to myself because I realized, sometimes you're your biggest block and you're talking things without, well, I'm not going to say you're talking without thinking, but just unconsciously. And I do it. And I have to now reverse and say, no, 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 no. I allow for my blessings. Anything that comes to me, I'm going to be able to handle it. It always just opens up a way. Somehow, some way, the universe always creates a way for me to be on every platform I need to be on in a way that allows me to flow the way I should. And I don't feel overwhelmed or overworked. I was tired earlier, but as I thought about what I'm here to do and all that and who I'm going to be vibing with, man, my energy just flew to the roof. I don't know if you noticed I was all hyped when I saw it and I was just ready to go.
I'm definitely looking forward to coming back next week. And just so y'all know, man, and to give you a little validity on the Points Blank travel, it's kind of hard to see because I'm using a different camera. And I'm not picking this one up because I'm broke. But to my left, this little Hercules looking thing back here is actually.
Man, can you lift up Hercules? We can't see Hercules.
Oh man, it's kind of
Be too heavy.
No, it was when it got to me, it was broken. Let me see. Can y'all
Aww.
see it now? Kind of, sort of. It's right here.
Oh, wow.
That's the Meet and I 2021 Channel of the Year award.
Oh my God, you won that award. Oh,
Channel of the Year out of
congratulations.
not all the YouTubers on YouTube, but this year I was nominated. I kind of put PVT, this channel, to the side, and I was nominated 5 times on the Points Blank Experience. And I will pick this one up, but get the Oscars. I won the 2022 Meet and I People's Choice Award, the People's Champ, baby, and that come from being genuine. People know that I care. I mean, it's cool to get the little
Wow.
recommendations and all that, but when I get a comment on my channel or a text from some of my members like, "Hey man, I just got a new credit card," or, "Hey man, my score went up," I can't put no
Woohoo.
value on that. It means a lot. So hopefully you subscribe to the channel.
Yes, yes, yes.
Show
His link is pinned above and it's also in the description. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Follow him on Instagram as well. And I believe you're on Facebook as well, right?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I don't really do a lot there. I have a
Okay, so just
Facebook.
follow him on Instagram and connect to those channels. Look out for the podcast.
I have a Facebook private group called Points Blank Travel. I have a Facebook page. I post on there whenever I'm going live or when I drop a new video. I also posted on Instagram at Points Blank Travel. So I don't want my people dependent on YouTube anymore because those notifications can be spotty. So yeah, just follow me just look for me on Facebook, definitely Instagram, subscribe to the channel. I can't wait to see some of y'all, if not all of y'all, in my live stream. I don't know when I'm doing another one. I gotta let my voice rest.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, Rob, if you're not able to make it next week, it's
Oh
fine.
no, I'm gonna be here. I'll be here.
Divine healing. All right, everybody. Remember, you're healthy, you're wealthy, and you're wise. Stay true to yourself. Make sure you like this one. Make sure you share it out, and make sure you're back Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you, wealthy fam.